class! I hope everyone is having a wonderful week and enjoying the sunshine wherever you are if there is sunshine. Let's get into this week's discussion post about ethos. Ethos, or credibility, is important to show and prioritize when you are presenting speeches in order to get more engagement. Engagement is important and ethos is important because not only are you gaining that engagement and your audience feels more connected to you, but you are also there for them. You are there to show them and to prove to them that you are knowledgeable and you know what you're talking about. You're there to help them learn the topic or the subject that you are presenting. Ethos, like I said, helps you get more connected with your audience, higher engagement, because I sure would engage a little bit more if my presenters that I was listening to showed ethos. And the 4 C's. So there's competence, character, charisma, and caring. I chose the video, The Art of Asking, which was presented by Amanda Palmer. This video technically went into detail about how it's okay to ask. It's okay to give up your pride and ask. It's okay to put yourself out there, put your dignity out there, and ask. She did an amazing job at presenting this and showed a lot of ethos through this presentation, and let's get into that. First off, Amanda Palmer shows ethos through competence. Competence is experienced, prepared, qualified, and knowledgeable. These qualities are so important to show through your presentations because it not only shows that you know what you're talking about, but it shows that you're an expert in your field. I'm a real estate agent, and this is so important to show through my presentations when I'm giving a new buyer presentation, or maybe I'm talking to somebody who wants to sell their home with me. It is super important to have the quality of competence. She showed these qualities by being loud and audible, so not quiet, not soft-spoken. She was loud. Her words did not mix with one another. It was audible. She also didn't use filler words such as like, or the. She didn't have long pauses. Her backstory related to her message. This is also a really big important thing that I need to work on, is making my backstories and making my little tangents relative to the message that I'm giving. It definitely puts those readers at an easier spot to learn what you're saying when they have a story to go off of. She was organized. She didn't sound scripted. She was authentic. She was true to herself, true to her stories, telling her stories with passion. It was amazing. And as all good speeches, she had an amazing ending. She also showed the characteristic caring through being empathetic, kind, sensitive, and audience-oriented. Eye contact. She showed a lot of eye contact, not only with the people in the first row in front of her, but with the audience outside of that first row. When I was learning how to do speech and learning how to give presentations in middle school, I was always told to look at the back wall. When you look at the back wall, everyone thinks you're looking at them, or they think you're looking at the audience. The back wall gives you something to focus on when you are presenting and you're not just making one person eye contact. Amanda Palmer did much more than just look at the back wall. She looked at the entire audience. She was engaged. She was doing gestures. She was showing that she was there for the whole audience and not just one small group. Palmer was also, like I said, scanning the audience and the general questions. She was asking questions like, do we agree? Or say something very audience oriented to where the audience could just be like, woo, like we understand. I thought that was awesome. Palmer shows character by being honest, genuine, ethical, and trustworthy. Backstories are relatable or they're easy to follow if they're not relatable. That is a very important thing with those backstories, is making sure that if they're not relatable to somebody, if somebody hasn't been in that position, that they can follow along. She used easy language that was guided towards the entire audience, so it wasn't too professional. It wasn't overly, dumbed down. It was accessible to her audience. She used her true emotions and understood all sides of her story before presenting. And lastly, she showed charisma through being active, dynamic, enthusiastic, and energized. Her tone matched according to the emotion that was shown through her story. She had the movement and the gestures, and she gave visuals aside from the slides. Thank you so much for listening. Let's show ethos in ours.